We will begin today's webinar, August 4th, 2015. I will tell you it will be a brief webinar today. We don't have a case study. However, we do have some interesting news coming out of the internet world, the online marketing world, and definitely we'll try to share as much information with you today as possible. So to begin today's webinar, we will begin today with latest news and articles and questions. And the first piece of news that we have is very important for you to note that for some reason there is some, if you go into your Google search console or also in search analytics, you'll find that there's report data missing for July 28th. Okay, so this is again once you log into your Google search console, which is formerly Google Webmaster Tools, and if you're doing some analysis, you will notice that there is missing information for July 28th. So do not panic. Apparently Google's aware of this and they're working on fixing the issue. Wanted to let you know about this because as you're probably finalizing your or beginning to work on your client's month-end report, you may have noticed that there's no information for 7/28. It skips from the 27th to the 29th. However, Google's looking at fixing that as well. So just wanted to let you know about that piece of news because that's also important, specifically with some of the issues that may happen in regards to your clients' accounts. Amalia, you were going to share some updates with you in regards to Panda.
Yes. So basically, Google Panda 4.2 is rolling out, but it's rolling out slowly due to technical reasons. Google's representative, John Mueller, basically tried to explain why the Panda 4.2 rollout is basically happening slowly over these, months and months versus, happening more of a little quicker rate. A representative, once again, from Google, what was questioned most recently and numerous times is why it's rolling out so slowly. And basically they did come back that it's due to, it's an internal technical issue. And basically both the SEM Post and Search Engine Roundtable transcribed part of the question and answers on Panda, basically, inquiring what's going on, what's taking it so long, like this shouldn't technically be happening. Anyways, with the Panda rollout, they pretty much said as a similar update as before. It's due to technical reasons that they're rolling out a little bit more slower. They said that they're not trying to confuse people with this, it's just really due to tech reasons. So it's not that they're trying to crawl out slowly. They said they are crawling and indexing normal and are using the content as well to recognize a higher quality and lower quality sites. They said, however, they are rolling out the information in a little bit more slower way. Again, once due to technical reasons. And it's not that it's making this process slower by design, it's truly just due to internal issues. A lot of the webmasters may want to see immediate results through Google Web Spam algorithms, but the Panda 4.2 slow rollout won't most likely be that way, and it'll take a couple of months to fully see a positive or negative impact on the algorithm. So yeah, that's what's been currently going on with Google Panda. Armando, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, I did want to add, and thank you, Amalia, for sharing that with us. I did want to add, just to let you know that sometimes we believe, or many people believe, that when Google rolls out an update, that the updates are automatic, like live. They're updated live, and as a matter of fact, the updates are actually rolled out not on live time, but they're actually rolled out throughout months. So it could be months and months before websites get impacted. Now, as of last week, like we mentioned, I believe it was about between 3 to 5% of websites in North America were impacted by the rollout. But obviously, they still have to. My understanding will have to probably crawl the next 95%. So whenever there is an update, just keep it in mind that it's not a live update. They don't have the, I guess, the technologies right now, from, like as Amalia mentioned, the technology right now does not allow it to be an immediate update. So it is something that takes months and months for it to happen. And it's not just Panda; it also happens with Penguin. as well, and other updates. There was only one update, if I recall, that was a little bit faster. I forgot the name of it, but primarily the majority of the updates do take some time. So keep an eye out. And if in the next few months your client site gets an improvement or has some issues, it could be because of the rollout, right? So thank you for sharing that with us. But yeah, for sure, many I've heard many throughout the industry that they believe that they should be a little bit quicker, but it's not a live update. It's just a rollout. Okay, thank you, Amalia, for that. The other thing that I wanted to share with you, as you may have known, last week, Wednesday, Bing actually launched Windows 10, right? And with Windows 10, with the launch of the new browser, with the new Windows 10, Bing anticipates that 10 to 50% more search volume should occur by September. It's a very, very aggressive target, right? I'm not sure how that will pan out in regards to the overall search share in North America and around the globe, because obviously, 65% of all searches happen within Google.com as a primary browser. But with Windows 10 as a platform, basically now Bing is feeling very confident that for sure they'll have an increase in volume. Now, there's an interesting blog post, and I actually added the link here by Bing's ad general manager, David Pan, who's basically outlined some of the benefits and what are the opportunities. And I've kind of shared three of them, three key ones here with you that you have to think about. If you're not advertising right now for Bing, or you're not optimizing your websites for Bing, it is something really to consider, because with all the different initiatives by Microsoft and Bing to generate and increase their market share in regards to search share overall in North America, as well as around the world. It's very important that we start taking a little bit of notice in regards to what Bing is doing. So these are some of David Pan's I guess opportunities that he sees, that based on what they're looking at right now, they're estimating a query volume gains from 10 to 15% as early as September, not only from new users, but from existing Bing users who will now use Bing more frequently. Obviously, with Windows 10 rollout, there's some more opportunity for Bing to be the default browsers in many scenarios, whether it be not just on users of Windows 10, but also in mobile, etc. And there is one more thing that's happening right now with the launch of Microsoft Edge browser, which is a new browser that just somewhat been released since, I believe, February, March, but it hasn't taken off, and it should be taken off. I mean, the goal is for the browser, quote unquote, called New Edge, to be taken off with the release of Windows 10, because obviously that's the default browser. And what they're saying is that when users launch a new Microsoft Edge browser, they will see the brand new MSN optimized for search, and only Edge has Cortana built right into the address bar. So the other thing that they've done is they have obviously brought Cortana, their voiceover feature, over to the Microsoft Edge browser. So that's number two. And number three is Cortana apps to bring in new users and enhance cross-device capabilities. With the Cortana app on iOS and Android, like I mentioned, on mobile, Bing will draw in new users and continue to expand our overall search and mobile search share. So the reason I wanted to share this interesting piece of news with you is because, again, sometimes we do just tend to focus a lot on Google, because it is the big gorilla, but sometimes we also have to, if you do have a client that's looking at expanding and probably has fully optimized their search capabilities, as well as traffic capabilities in generating traffic in Google, we should start looking at Bing as well. And you don't have to go all out. Perhaps just doing test campaigns via their Bing ads, for example, or just tweaking your SEO strategy to fit a little bit more into the Bing model, right? So again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Our team can definitely assist you in both. And I know there's other suppliers in the network that can definitely assist you as well in regards to looking at Bing and finding out what's the best way of capitalizing from the current growth that they're experiencing or may experience. So a lot of good things happening. A few months ago, when we met with one of the ICs and I met with one of their CIO here in Canada, Microsoft CIO. He was very optimistic that once Windows 10 was launched, they would start seeing better performance and better results from the search engine as in regards to search share. So anyways, just wanted to share that piece of information as well. I think that this is going to be a bit of a game changer, not a major game changer, but it's going to generate opportunities. So you want to make sure that you capitalize on that for your clients. So not only from just standard native advertising, right, through Bing ads, but also looking at the possibility of mobile advertising as well, and other opportunities that it may bring. Okay. Great. The other interesting piece of news I wanted to share with you was actually from Yahoo. Recently, Yahoo announced that it was buying a social shopping destination, Polyvore. And Polyvore is basically a community, what they call a social commerce site. And with the purchase, obviously now Yahoo, in its release of the acquisition, what their goal is to strengthen their digital, primarily the Yahoo's digital magazines and verticals through the incorporation of community and commerce, and together Yahoo and Polyvore will power native shopping ads that drive traffic and sales to retailers. There's also a strong mobile shopping angle here for Yahoo. Obviously, they haven't disclosed what the price tag is for this acquisition. I kind of was reading around and wasn't able to confirm how much they're looking at, how much they pay for to acquire this social shopping destination. And at one point, if you were to look at Polyvore as a shopping avenue for Yahoo, you are looking at the fact that 70% of their audience are female. 45% with the vast majority are under 45%, with more than 50% of its audience under the age of 34. And the company also says that its average basket size across retail partners is over 383, which is higher than the other leading social networks combined. So it is a great opportunity for Yahoo to team up or acquire Polyvore, but we'll see what the effects are overall in the next few months. Kind of wanted to see if I can pull out, if you give me a quick second. I wanted to share with you what basically what Polyvore is really a community power social commerce website. And the way it works is that members actually curate products into a shared product index and use them to create images. And based on what their focus is, they have about 20 million monthly. As of May 2014, they have about 20 million monthly unique visitors. And the areas of focus is for fashion, interior design, and artistic impression. So, if you have a chance to go to the polyvore.com site, it may not be a bad idea for you to kind of see what you can learn, not only in regards to what's happening in this specific community, but also perhaps if you do have a client in the fashion industry, how being part of this may be an option for them as well. So anyhow, I wanted to share this piece of news in regards to this recent acquisition by Yahoo as well. Okay. The next piece of news that I wanted to share with you, actually, Amalia is going to talk to you a little bit about Google's fighting France now to prevent globalization. So for the right to be forgotten. So as you know, it's a very hot topic. So Amalia, if you want to share that with us. Oh, looks like Amalia's having technical problems. So basically, as you have known, oh, Amalia?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I think it's when you mute that we have issues.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
wonderful. I do apologize to everybody. I do have headset issues here, but I did hear everything and I did actually start talking. But let me just start over here. Once again, Google fights France to prevent globalization of the right to be forgotten. Google warns against giving individual countries control over global content. Google has formally appealed France's Data Protection Authority's order, and that Google apply right to be forgotten removals is basically removals to its global index. The Commission nationale de l'informatique et de liberté, CNIL, had protested Google's Europe-only removal policy and threatened to fine the company €150,000, which is about equivalent to $169,000, for failing to apply the rule on a worldwide basis. Previously, Google said that it would limit RTBF to European users. They have stated previously, Google, that it would limit the RTBF to European users cooperating closely with the data protection authorities. The ruling focused on services directed to, once again, the European users. And basically, they stated that they're working hard to strike the right balance in implementing the European court's ruling and cooperating closely with the data protection authorities as well. The ruling focused on services directed to European users, and that's the approach that they're basically taking and complying with it. French and other European privacy regulators have taken the position that the RTBF is undermined by the retention of the content in the Google.com index, and the CNIL issued an order and ultimatum to Google basically to follow it accordingly. Google is now appealing the order in the French courts on a different legal grounds. This is I quickly want to mention as well. Canada is also attempting to get Google to suppress results on the global basis. So that's interesting as well. But going back to the French case, Google's Global Privacy Council stated in a blog post that they have worked hard to implement the right to be forgotten ruling thoughtfully and comprehensively in Europe and will continue to do so. However, they did state that in a matter of principle and they respectfully disagree with the idea that the National Data Protection Authority can assert global authority to control the content that people can access around the world. They also continue to state that they believe that no one country should have the authority to control what content someone in a second country can access. Inclusively, they believe that this order is disproportionate and unnecessary. Basically, given that the overwhelming majority of the French internet users currently around about 97% access a European version of the Google search engine like a google.fr rather than google.com or any other version of Google. So in that aspect, Google is correct to appeal the CNIL order and to fight the ability of one country to impose its worldview on other global countries. Basically, they continue to state that they would comply to keep the doors open to other countries in efforts to attempt to make the internet according to their own biases and cultural standards. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Armando, did you want to add to that as well? I may have lost Armando. Sorry, Armando, are you there? We might have some technical issues. But anyways, this being said, they use a couple of examples. Basically, worldwide, they said that in regards to this, you know, for example, the Chinese might be seeking to compel any critical information to be censored, where India might be blocking content that they might be finding offensive. So moreover, they're basically saying they can't rule everything out and control everything that's going to be, you know, shared. So Armando, did you want to add to that?
No, yeah, same thing. That what I was saying was that it's really something that will be a hot topic in the next years to come, as you know, that the whole aspect or the concept of the right to be forgotten, you know, it's really taking a bit of steam in Europe, right? So I mean, it's really a legal thing rather than anything, right? So that's the only thing I can add to it. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Amalia. Okay,
Thank you.
yeah. So the other piece of news that I wanted to share with you was in regards to Google actually hiring more SEOs. So actually, a few weeks back, Google was hiring an SEO expert or an SEO project manager for one of their different projects that they're doing. So as a matter of fact, Google needs to hire also search engine optimization individuals so their projects can rank high on the search engines and other things, I guess. And now Google is hiring an SEO on a 12-month contract basis to work on the Google website store, store.google.com. So interestingly enough, even Google needs search engine optimization. So I just wanted to share that part of news. So the other things that I kind of wanted to share with you is that obviously the new hire will be working on site in Google's office at Mountain View. So if any of the ICs in today's call would like to be part of that, just I believe there's they're reaching out, and you can probably just get an application for that. Interestingly enough, though, what they're looking this SEO contractor will be responsible for marketing Google's devices such as Nexus phones, tablets, Android Wear watches, Chromebooks. Looks like an interesting challenge. It's an interesting challenge, and the salary, although not confirmed, right? But just to give you an example, and according to Search Engine Land's team, the salary is a little bit it's lower than the average for Silicon Valley, but the SEO hire will be making approximately $60 an hour. So it just gives you a bit of an idea of the type of how much you should be charging your clients for really hardcore SEO, and depending on the hours that are established. But anyways, just wanted to share this tidbit of information. I found that also very interesting that they're also looking to hire SEO experts. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is in regards to Yelp. Yelp earnings report shows strength in mobile search, although you've seen in the news and heard that Yelp shares are actually, plunging, or I don't know, plunging, but they're really not growing. There are some positive news coming out from Yelp. One of them is that obviously mobile unique visitors has surpassed that of the desktop unique visitors. So, having said that, again, this is an opportunity for your clients, for you as a consultant, to advise your clients that perhaps it could be a supplementary or complementary advertising avenue. Now, they don't have to stop any of their current SEO or paid search activities that they're doing through AdWords, so through Google AdWords, Bing, or Yahoo, or any other activities you may be doing with them. But it could be something that they should potentially even test out with Yelp if they only have a basic listing. But if they want to do a bit of advertising on Yelp, there are some positive things that are coming out of this report. One of them is that their mobile visitors grew 20% quarter over quarter to reach about 83 million. They also saw a 51% quarter over quarter growth for app unique devices. And according to the report, the reviews grew 35% year over year, while local advertising accounts grew 40% during that period. So Yelp is starting to take, to also show some signs of strength in growing. So it's not, you should not discard it. And if your client is asking you about Yelp, do your research, do your due diligence. I would even recommend doing a test campaign for a few months, and then seeing if you could, obviously upgrade to their better programs. But it was interesting that they're actually showing some growth from their side. As Yelp generates more user trust and becomes more of a player, it only makes sense for that to transfer over to another medium as more people search from their mobile devices. One of the key things that the article talks about is that obviously Yelp, from an SEO perspective, has been able to properly optimize or properly set up a very SEO friendly infrastructure that allows their pages to rank high, right? So because of that, you will see a lot of the local businesses that are in Yelp really benefiting from Yelp's positive or white hat optimization tactics, right? So anyhow, wanted to share that with you as well in regards to Yelp's increase or strength in mobile search. Could be an avenue, also a source of traffic for your clients, and it's something that should be embraced and not necessarily be be afraid of. The other thing that I wanted to share with you was in regards to something that came out or was released about a week or 2 weeks ago, which is what they call Google Home Service ads for locksmiths, plumbers. And basically, what they're doing is, if you recall, Google has ventured into the travel industry to compare travel or destination prices, and that looking at Expedia and Hotel.com and all these travel industry search engines. And just by going to google.com, at times you can actually just compare the different pricing. Everything rolls out there. And we also saw it with the auto insurance a few months back, where you can compare auto insurance on Google, right? So now what they've done, they've taken it to the next level. Again, this is a test, but right now in San Francisco, they're actually, with their Google Home Services program, they're promoting local service providers in search ads as well. So taking on the likes of Yelp, Angie's List, and Amazon Home Services, Google's Home Services ads promote pre-qualified home service professionals and enable users to submit requests to the providers straight from the search ads. And I'm going to share with you in the next minute or so how that actually works. And these ads you can actually see happening already only in San Francisco market. They include a photo of the professional, their location, a phone number, along with any ratings that it looks to be call-out ad extensions that detail the qualifications and service qualities and offers that the plumbers provide. You can actually also click on the profile and more details. Now, they're basically, let me just share with you what it looks like. So I actually wanted to share a few screenshots, and I'm actually going to go to the article after so you can see some of the so-called benefits. It is again in the test mode. So if you're looking for San Francisco locksmith in the past, you type in San Francisco locksmith. So this is your view, your traditional view. Obviously, you have your paid advertising, right? Then obviously, I was saying you have Yelp right at the top, so you have your Yelp, and which is organic, right? And in some cases, you'll have your Google Places. So San Francisco locksmith, now what they've done is they actually have San Francisco locksmith, and all of a sudden you're getting qualified locksmith serving San Francisco. So all of these are sponsored ads, right? And I'm going to share. So this one, for example, is for plumbers. This next screenshot that I'm sharing with you, it's an example of a plumber where here are the sponsored ads that you can actually show through the Google Home Service ads. So these are paid advertising. It's not organic. It's paid. It's not free. You have to actually pay to be part of this. And as a matter of fact, you can see, for example, with this new Google Home Service ad, you have a picture, right? A profile picture. You have you can actually see the whole view profile, and you have a specific call out. So you actually have the opportunity. The beautiful part about this is you can actually try to get quotes from up to 3 different providers, right? And if you look at this sponsorship notification from Google, it talks about, based on your search query, we think you're trying to find a service professional. Clicking in this box will show you results from providers that can fulfill your request. Google may be compensated by some of these providers. Anyhow, and there's a way for you to learn more about the product. So the cool thing about it, like I said, is that now you can actually get up to 3 quotes. Now, this is something that they're still testing. They haven't rolled out. Okay, so it's not available for everyone, but just keep in mind that if this does take off, it's something that you may want to put into your advertising mix as well, your Google AdWords mix, and seeing how that can potentially work. Hopefully in the next few weeks we can share more information about it. So as you can see here, I actually wanted to show you a live example. So let me just pause my screen for a second. Now, mind you, I'm still learning a little more about it, but because it was something interesting that just came out. And there's also a bit of so what I did here. Okay, here we go. There's also a little bit of controversy that's being caused because people are saying, okay, so what happens now with organic rankings, what happens with Google Places, what happens with paid advertising on Google, the 7-pack. All these things are, there's a lot of questions. So here what I did, I'm using an AdWords Google preview tool just for a test, and I put San Francisco plumber. I should have done .com, but I did .ca. You should do .com. I mean, that's the best way because it's in the U.S. They're testing in San Francisco, and right away I was able to get all these different plumbers. Okay, and you see I can choose. So send requests to 1 to 3 plumbers. Your request will be sent to everywhere you select. So here, kind of Google starts selling you a little bit about the home services program, and trusted experience license. So if they do have a qualification that they have to go through, a qualifying process before you can actually begin advertising on this new medium. And you know what, I can choose 1, 2, 3, right? And you can actually type. It's a lead generation, pretty much lead generation avenue. Okay, so then after you come down here, then they're really testing this, because in this case scenario, let me just go back because I believe you see, in this case scenario, this is when you type in San Francisco plumber, right? So this is your first search, and you have your qualified plumber sponsor ads, which we're talking about. You have your Yelp, all of your organic, right? So it doesn't. So what happens to Google Places, right? There's no space for the 7-pack, right? So when you click on more problems with your contact, that's when you get this page. So it's something that Google is testing, and it'll be interesting to find out how effective it becomes in San Francisco, and how effective it becomes as a lead generation for local businesses, right? For local suppliers. Right now, like I said, they're only doing it for plumbers, as well as locksmiths, and I think there's one more set of vertical they're focusing on. But it's very interesting that that you can actually participate in this sponsored or paid advertising with Google in this test. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. We'll also keep you updated from our side as we learn more about this new program. Like I said, there has been a little bit of controversy because people are asking why what happens to all these other avenues that I'm trying to all these other avenues that we've been advertising for, and that we've been optimizing. Because now, if you've really focused on optimizing locally with Google and want to show up in the search results in the Google pack, the Google Places, or my Google Business, now that whole listing has been pretty much removed. Now this is only, again, a test, but it may change a little bit of how the search engine result pages or the layout display in the future. So want to definitely share that with you today in regards to this new program. Excellent. So like I mentioned, today was going to be a bit of a shorter webinar. Next week we have a new announcement that we're going to be sharing with you, specifically for those ICs that are focusing a little bit more on higher level consulting. As you know, we are a HubSpot certified provider, but we do have some news in regards to marketing automation. So definitely we'll be sharing that with you. It's something that we will also be promoting at the global convention. It's a new, it's not a new probably a new service within the network, but it's something that it's new to ALM, and I'll definitely share that with you next week as we finalize everything. But it's something exciting, though. It's a new product that has to do with marketing automation, and definitely most likely we'll even have Vinish Sandir in the next few weeks sharing with us more information, and even having a bit of a technical walkthrough of the new marketing automation service. But anyhow, so far I have no questions, but I wanted to thank everybody for attending. Have yourself a great week. Amalia, I'm not sure if you have any final thoughts before we wrap it up today.
No, just want to thank everybody for attending, and we will be back next week.
Okay, excellent. Have yourself a great week, and thank you for joining us. And like I said, we will definitely have more for you in regards to this new announcement next week. Thank you, and have yourself a great week.